Yes.
Even so, in those documents थोड़ा share कर दीजिए if you have time
हाँ,
today or
मैं कर
tomorrow.
देता हूँ, आपको आज ही कर देता हूँ, है ना. Okay. So now we are going to start with chapter 3, functions. Okay. So first we'll see what are functions and how to write a function quickly. Right. So why do we create a function?
In order to avoid the steps, I mean, so that
In
we
order
can
to
use any
avoid writing the same code again and again, right? So if you want to have some reusable piece of code, we use functions for that, right? So now how do we write a function in Python? So any function in Python starts with def. That's the definition of a function. So here I am creating a function called thing. Okay. Now after this we'll write the body of the function. So in this bracket, if we have to pass any parameters, we pass that. Right. So here, if I write this function and execute it, what will happen? Yes. Quickly create this function so you get a practice of that. Sorry.
Yeah, good luck with the
Just a second. How to upload this? Yeah. Okay. So to create a function, you can simply call this. So def thing. Again, it will be colon when the function starts. Again, the indentation should be proper, right? So quickly write this code to create a very basic function, right? So def thing, a colon, print what? Print hello, print fun. Right? But if you run this code, nothing will run. You have to call this function now, right? As soon as call it, I'll get thing and fun. Right? So now what is the output of this code? Yes, quickly. Yes, Pranali, what is the output of this?
Hello fun, zip, hello fun.
Hello fun zip, hello fun. It's simply so I'm calling the function twice. So when I will call this thing, I'll be getting this hello and fun printed. Right? So that's how we define a function. Very basic of it, right? Okay. Now in Python there are two kind of functions in Python. One are like built-in functions that are provided as part of Python. Like print is a function that we use, input is a function that we already used, type is a function, float is a function, int is a function. Okay. Then there are functions that we can define ourselves and then use, like the way we have done for thing. Okay. Now this is good. It says we treat the built-in function names as a new reserved words. That is, we avoid them as variable names. So I know type is a function or input is a function, so I won't use input as a variable name anywhere. Right? So that's just a good programming practice. Okay. Now what is let's see function definition. In Python, a function is some reusable code that takes arguments as input, does some computation, and then return a result or results. We define a function using the def reserved word. So def is used for defining the function. And we can call or invoke the function by using the function name, parentheses, and arguments in an expression. We'll call the function name, then a parenthesis and the argument that it requires. Okay, we can call it by that. So like we have called thing there. Okay. Now there are few, like say for in this case max is a built-in function of Python. So quickly try this. So big is max hello world. So max we are applying maximum on the string. So usually we don't apply a maximum on a string, but if you do, look at the result. It will print you a W. So what I am doing here is I am giving a function called to max, which is an inbuilt function. And the argument is I am passing a string here. Okay. So now it has some way of indexing strings also, so you'll get the W as the outcome. So once you print this big, right, quickly keep on writing these codes. Then we have min also. Okay. But if you print tiny here, you won't get anything. Okay, print tiny here, what you will get, see this.
Why is it so, sir?
Sorry?
Single
Why
code
is
only.
it so? Why don't we get D here?
You don't get V because you have a space here.
Okay.
Remove the space and try it again.
So same thing happens with maximum also, no? While using maximum
No,
function.
space is like considered the minimum, not the maximum. So for all the special characters, they have some way of indexing it. Ideally, I won't recommend you to use it. You should use it with a number only.
Number only.
Yes. Okay, see this. So if you print this, you'll get W. Okay, getting a blank here.
Himanshu, why did only W came there?
Because there's a maximum out of this,
Please. Maximum, okay.
of the
Maximum
string.
alphabet. Yeah.
Right. In fact, the capital are treated after the small letters. So if you have, see this. If I do this, okay, and I then put a big, I'm getting a R, not a W. Capitals are
Okay, so
indexed first, then we have small letters.
okay. And tiny gets us the smallest one, right?
Exactly right. Yes. Okay. So we won't be using max like this. So don't. Yeah. So we mostly will using max with a letters or numbers only, right? But with a list of numbers. So now what we are doing here is we are just calling a code max function over here. Okay. It says the function is some stored code that we use. A function takes some input and produces an output. So max is an inbuilt function. Okay. Yes. Just a second. Okay. So after looking at this max function, let's look at type convergence now. Okay. It says when you put an integer and floating point in an expression, the integer is implicitly converted to a float. When you put an integer and a floating point in an expression, means both together in an expression, the integer is implicitly converted to a float. You can control this with the built-in functions int and float. This I believe we have already seen yesterday. I'll just quickly recap that. So if you see print of float 99 upon 100, I get a 0.99. So here 100 is an integer, 99 is a float. The output is a float. If I use I is equal to 42 and type of I, I'll get an integer as an outcome. Okay. Then f is float of I. Print f. I is 42 here. Look at this. So the output is 42.0. And now the type of f is of course float. Okay. So it basically talks about type convergence, how we can convert into float and vice versa. Then we have string convergence. This also we have seen yesterday. Right. So we have int and float function. We can convert strings to using integer, provided they have numbers. Otherwise, you will get an error. Right. So this is all very trivial stuff. So we'll just quickly skip that. Now let's write some functions of our own. Yes. Okay. So we create a new function with the def keyword, which we already seen, right? Followed by the optional parameters in the parentheses, and we indent the body of the function. This defines the function but does not execute the body of the function. Okay. So if I write this function which print lyrics of some song like this, so when you execute it, just this print lyrics is defined. It's not calling or something. It's not printing anything. It's not getting executed as of now. Okay. So it's just a simple thing. Yes. So now whenever you have to, so if you write a function as a part of the code, it's not going to print anything, right? But as soon as you call it, you will get this as output. Is it clear? Can I skip ahead?
Yes.
Okay. So once we have defined a function, we can call it, invoke it as many times as we want. So if I call it twice, I will get the output twice, right? Okay. Now let's talk about what are arguments. So an argument is a value we pass into the function as its input when we call the function. We use arguments so we can direct the function to do different kind of works when we call it at different times. Okay. We put the arguments in parentheses after the name of the function. So this is an argument here. So I am passing a string, which is hello world, is an argument here. So whichever string you pass or number you pass, this function will act accordingly and give you an output. So this is called an argument. Okay. Now what is a parameter? So now it says a parameter is a variable which we use in the function definition. It is a handle that allows the code and the function to access the argument for a particular function invocation. Now let's see this in detail. Let's write this function quickly. Define def greet language. If language is in Spanish, we'll just print hola. If language is French, we'll print bonjour, else we'll print hello. So now define this function quickly. If you want to see that, yeah. Sorry. So create this function quickly. So now indentation will be a big issue here. So if you execute, you won't get anything, right? You just define the function greet. Now language is a parameter. Now if I pass here en is called an argument, right? So if I pass any string, if I pass es, I will get hola. If I press fr, I will get bonjour. If I pass anything else, I will get hello. So these values which I am passing for the parameters are called arguments. So parameter is the one which we are using while building a function here. So language is a parameter, language is not an argument. Es, fr and extra are the values of this parameters which you can call as arguments. Done?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now if you see here, we have not written, we have just printed here, we have not written any value from this function. But often a function will take its arguments, do some computation and return a value to be used as a value of the function call in the calling expression. So for example, if you've done big max hello world, right? So max hello world is returning a value here. Which values it is returning? It is returning the maximum value over here, right? And just to show you one more thing here, if you want to look at the help in Jupyter Notebook, let's say max, put a question mark and execute it. It will give you the help. Okay, it says like this: doc string
Reverse.
is reverse of rs.
Reverse of R, yeah.
In R, question marks comes first. Here, question marks comes later.
Yes.
This is max iterable, means whichever iterable you are passing. So it can be a list or it can be a string also. Okay, and then you return, it returns a value. Now it says the help with a single iterable argument, return its biggest item. The default keyword only argument specifies an object to return if the provided iterable is empty. With two or more arguments, returns the largest argument. Type, built-in function or method. You can put two question marks also in case there is something else, it will show. Okay, it's just that's it for this. Okay. Other thing is I want to show you is suppose you write call a function, either an inbuilt or a defined function. Let's say I want to call greet. Now I don't know which arguments I have passed here. Okay, just press shift tab. It will show you all this. It shows that you have defined a function which has a language as an input. Now what is doc string? We will see how to write that later on. Getting this? This is a very handy function. You have to use Shift Tab. In R, you simply use Tab, right? Here you have to use Shift Tab.
Yes.
Okay. Shift Tab or question mark will do the same thing. So now you have defined a greet as a function, right? So you can use a help for that also, but putting a question mark. Since you not put any docstring over here, it's not showing anything. Right? So this is a very useful function of Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Now let's come back to the return value thing. So it says often a function will take its argument, do some computation and return a value to be used as a value of the function called in the calling expression. The return keyword is used for this. Just for example here, def greet return hello. So what is the meaning of this? Whenever I call this greet, the output will be hello. So for example, what is the output of these two lines?
Hello Glenn and hello Sally.
Right, hello Glenn and hello Sally. Right. So this you can save in as a, so if you can just equate it and save it in a variable also. So you can get a string which has value hello. Okay. Now it says a fruitful function is one that produces a result or return value. We call it a fruitful function. A certain function which doesn't return a value, we call it a void function. The return statement ends the function execution and sends back the result of the function. Okay. Now let's do this. In the same function, rather than using print, use the return statement. Okay, I'll just copy this, paste it over here. All right. Right, now how to call it? If you call okay, let's say print greet yes yes and then Sally. So hola Sally. Do you want to overwrite the file and this? Okay. So now this is returning a string with these greetings: hola, bonjour, hello. Clear? So you can see here we have print greet Glenn, Ian, Glenn. Sorry, it's hello Glenn. Same we can do for Sally also and Michael also. Okay. Now arguments, parameters and results. Okay. So now if you see here in this function, in INP is a parameter which we are using while defining a function, right? W is the result of the function. And now if I pass max hello world is the argument which we pass as a value of the parameter. right? So you should understand these three components: arguments, parameter, and results. Okay. Now let's do this. Now we can have multiple parameter arguments also. We can define more than one parameter in the function definition. We simply add more arguments when we call the function. We match the number and order of arguments and parameters. Now this is good. Okay, let's do this. Create a function which adds two numbers very quickly and return the sum of that. Okay, create this function. So whenever you call it, it is going to give you the sum of that. Yes, done. It's pretty straightforward, right? A and B are my parameters and 3 and 5 are my arguments. Okay. Then there are certain functions which don't return any value. We call them void functions. Okay, void functions are non-fruitful. Okay. Now should I write a function or not? Okay, so it says these are the certain rules that you can follow. Organize your code into paragraphs, capture a complete thought and name it. Don't repeat yourself, make it work once and then reuse it. If something gets too long or complex, break it up in logical chunks and put those chunks into functions. So while writing your code, if it's getting really cumbersome and it's like too much things that you might be repeating, or even if you are not repeating, you can break them in small steps. So then functions are very much useful. So for example, you have to do like step by step various computations. So in that scenario, functions are very handy. Okay. And the best part is like you can make a library of this common stuff so that you can do it, so that you can share it with your friends as well. Right. This also will tell you how you can use a function from a .py file. Okay. Now let's see this. Doc strings and function help. Built-in function helps displays the doc string from a function definition. This we already tried, right? Calling help on function area produces this output. Now let's do this quickly. Let's say I want to find the area of a rectangle. Okay. So quickly create this function. I'm trying to find the area of a triangle, not a rectangle. So let me explain you all those components also. यहाँ पे लिखा है क्या? नहीं. Okay. So what is the function here? Area. That will take two arguments, base and height. Sorry, 2 parameters, not 2 arguments. Now look at this. I'm going to pass 3 colon 3 inverted commas over here. Okay, you can pass double as well. Now let's write something like this. Okay, so it says number and then a number. Okay, and then after this, okay, just one more thing. If I use a single comma here, you cannot extend that string to the next line. But if you have 3 inverted commas, you can extend it up to as many lines as you want. There's a reason we use 3 quotes here. Okay, and what it does, it returns the area of a triangle with base and height. Okay, so that's the end of my doc string. This is called as a doc string. So now so far I have not done anything. There is no computation, there is no logic in here. Now I'll do it. Return 1 by 2 multiplied by base multiplied by height. Right? So that's my value which I'm going to return, which is the area of it. Right? Now this command over here is called a type contract, which means when you say type contract, means it's the contract between the user and you, that and the function creator. So means you're telling that okay, my function will take 2 numbers as an input and it will always return a number only. So I'm expecting you to follow this contract. Means you should pass 2 numbers only. Right? Now execute this. So of course not going to show you anything. Now if I call area like this, and then if you press shift tab, look at this, it will show you the complete detail. One more thing, in case I write a long string, let's say this, sorry, and let's say I put some junk over here. Right? Now if I do this, it will just show you the first line. Then you can press shift tab again twice, then to show you the complete window. I not executed it, so sorry. Yes, now see this. Just showing you this. Now if I press it twice, it shows me the complete thing. Getting this? So I'll just remove this, which I have done unnecessarily, and execute it again.
Himanshu,
Yes.
could you just explain why we are using these 3 columns there?
Sorry, come again.
Why
A lot
we are
of
using
background
3?
noise from your side. These commas, 3 commas.
Yeah.
Okay. So now in Python you can start a string with a single like this, okay, or like this also, okay. But now the problem is, if you like a string like this, okay, you cannot extend it. It won't take it on the next line, right? But if I want to use big strings which I can use anywhere, I use 3. And as soon as I put 3, it will autocomplete 3. Now if you want, you can add anything anywhere. So anything in between these 3 will always be considered as a string.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So that's the benefit of. So this is called as a. So now once we do this in the form of a function, we call it doc string, document string. I'm using it to put all the documents about this function here. And this is how you should write a function. I mean, this is a very good programming practice. It helps the user understand like why I have created this function. Why? Now if you use area, so you can put a question mark. That will give you the same thing, right? or you
And
can
number, comma number, that's number three numbers you are written. These are we are passing the arguments over there.
no, it's a part of docstring only, right? This
Okay,
is
okay,
called
yeah.
type contract. We'll discuss this in more detail now after some time. Okay, this is called as type
Okay.
contract. Means I'll be taking two numbers and returning a number only.
So that line doesn't execute anything. It's just like a comment.
No, it's a string. Anything is between
It's the
these
same.
strings, it won't execute any, not it won't show anything, right? Now, if
Yeah.
I use area and let's say I put 3 under 2, I'll get the area as the output. Half into 3 into 2.
Yep. Yep.
So now whenever you have to call it and you don't know which arguments to pass, just put a shift tab. It will tell you that okay, you need to pass a base and a height. And if the type contract is written, you know what type is base and what type is height.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Okay. Rather than using this. Okay, let's do one question here now. Rewrite your pay computation with time and a 1.5 for overtime, and create a function called compute pay, which take two parameters hours and rate. So now you have to create a function called compute pay, which will take two arguments hours and rate. And now what you have to do? If the person is working more than 40 hours, you have to give him additional overtime, that is 1.5 times the rate. Again, we know for 45 10 it should give you 475. So write this function quickly. Done. Okay, ping the code quickly. Good, Pranali. Have you tested it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, others. Good, Prabhakar. I think here if I send a private chat, then the indentation is maintained, but in a public chat it never gets maintained. So when Prabhakar has sent me the code, the indentation is completely gone. But the Pranali which sent me the code, the indentation is there in this GoToMeeting chat box, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Done this. समीर आपका हुआ?
This is the right code, whatever I said.
Just execute and verify. It looks right.
Okay.
सही है. Okay. Now the additional things I want to, now this is the end of this PDF. I want to talk about some additional things in functions. One is we already talked about the docstring and the function help, right? This means what is a docstring? This return anything written in this triple quotes is called a docstring. And we can see the help by calling help of this area function. Okay. Now there's one more thing called function design recipe. Means while writing a function, there's certain things that you should always keep in mind. So in any function, there should be 6 steps. There should be some examples in the function. Means that tells the user what should your function do. Means what is the expected of your function. So you should type a couple of example calls. Okay. The second thing you should have is a type contract. Means for example, if as I show you here, this is your type contract, number and number. Means what are the parameter types, what type of value is returned, both the things you have to pass. Then there should be a header where you pick meaningful parameter names. Okay. Then there should be a description, tells about the function, like what your function is actually doing. Then we have the body of the function where you write the actual code. And then you test it on some examples, right? Let's do this in a practice. So let's create a function now. Now it says the United States measures temperature in Fahrenheit and Canada measures it in Celsius. When traveling between the two countries, it helps to have a conversion function. So I want you to write a function that converts from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Now I know that 32 Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius and 202 Fahrenheit is 100 degrees Celsius. So these are the two examples that I can, so this my function should give correctly. So let me copy this. Okay. And then I'll keep on pasting it in my docstring. Oops. Where is that gone? Yes. Okay. The order we'll see later. I will just put copy pasting it here now. So there's two examples that should be a part of your function. Okay. Then I should have a type contract also. Now here I know that I am passing a number. I will get a number. So this also you should always have. Okay. Then we should have a header. That's the function definition. This is how you define the function. So convert to Celsius is the name of the function and Fahrenheit is the parameter. So this will go at the top.
Yep.
Right. So that's my definition of a function. Then what else? Then the description, what it's actually doing. It says it returns the number of Celsius degrees equivalent to Fahrenheit degrees. Again, this will go in your doc string only. Okay. Then, what is the body of the function? Like this. So it should come after this, after the doc string. So it should simply return Fahrenheit minus 32 into 5 upon 9. Let me make it do the formatting a bit better. Yes. Then we have the run the example. Then I can show some examples like this. See. So now this is how we write a function. The first thing is the definition. So this is not in order. First thing is the definition. Then we have the type contract. Then we have the description. And then we have few examples. And then we have the body of it. So this is, anytime you write a function, you should have all these components always. Right. Now the benefit of doing this is, like as I showed you.
And I want to return also last one.
Sorry, come again.
Finally, we need to return the function at the end.
Yes,
That
that's the
involve-
body. That's the body. So it's not like there should be, there can be many line of code here, and then it should return something. Right. Okay. Now it's giving me an indentation error here for the string as well.
I think it is giving for only return statement.
Yes, it's gone now.
Line
Let me check for this. हाँ रिटर्न के लिए दे रहा था राइट.
line number 12 दिखा रहा
अच्छा ओके. लाइन नंबर दिखा रहा था क्या?
हाँ दिखा रहा था line number 12.
Okay, yes. Okay. So now we have convert to Celsius, and now if you put a shift tab, you get the complete thing. So now anyone can read it and use this function, right? It will tell you the type contract, the description of the function, and few examples that what are the values that expected out of it. Right. Now let's try this also. Let's pass 32. You'll get a 0. Let's pass 2 and 2. You'll get 100. Clear? So create this function quickly. Yes, Samir, done?
The same function, na? The Fahrenheit
Yes.
Celsius.
Right. बना लिए ना? Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's do one example. So we can call functions within other function definitions also. Okay. Now what you have to do is, like, you have to write a function that calculates the semi-parameter of a triangle. Okay. So to do that, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to write a function called parameter, which takes the input as the three sides of a triangle, right? And it should return simply the sum of the three sides, right? Then you have to define a function called semi-parameter, which will call this parameter and simply divide the value by 2. Can you do this?
Yes.
Okay. Create this quickly. No need to, like, for now on. Now you can skip this doc string and all. Just write the function body. Ping quickly the results. Very good, Pranali. Yes. Okay. Good. But that's the code you should always have. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, okay. I want to show you one more thing over here. There's a website called Python Tutor. Okay. It helps you evaluate how your code is actually executed in Python. So let's say visualize execution. So it's only one step code. Let's say this. So as soon as I define this, it shows a frame and an object. So it's a global frame which I defined as a parameter, which is a type function which has three side 1, side 1, side 2, and side 3. And that's it, because we're not written anything here. Now, if I write something over here, let's say I write the other code as well. That is this. It's this one more function. And then I will call semi perimeter. Let's say 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now let's visualize it. So now it shows where at which step this code is. So now if let's execute this. Okay. See this now, forward. So now as soon as you run this, so it's skipped all this and it has defined a parameter function. So this inside code is not executed there now because we have just defined the function, we have not called it. Can you see this? And the cursor is now at this red. Now we have defined one more function. See this. Now we have, in global frame we have two functions, parameter and semi parameter. So which are pointing to function which has this. Right. So now we have still 6 steps left. Now after this it's going to call the semi parameter 3, 4, 5. So let's call this. See this. Now see this. As soon as you call semi parameter 3, 4, 5, it defines the semi parameter here with side 1 as 3, side 2 as 4, side 3 as 5. So these arguments are attributed to their respective parameters, like side 1, side 2, and side 3. Now I know to return this value I have to call this function. So I'm back to this line number 14. Okay. Then forward. So as soon as it's a string, so it not gets executed, simply go to the return statement. Now return calls a parameter function again. So if I make forward again, it will go up to the parameter function over here. See this. So again parameter 3, 4, 5 has been passed to this function over here also, because we have called this function as like with these value 3, 4, and 5. And then it returns simply side 1, side 2, side 3. See this. So return value is 12. And then it returns, it goes to line number 25 after 12. And then it returns value 6, which is the semi parameter. Okay, since I'm not saving 12, it's nowhere saved. Can you see this?
Yes.
So this is a very good website for debugging your code, But only problem is it will only work for such kind of code where you're not using any libraries. For example, you're using NumPy or Pandas and all, it won't work. So for basic function writing and all, it's very good thing. Means it actually helps you to identify how you're actually how the code actually gets executed in Python. Yes, any doubts in this? So you just save this website or bookmark this website called Python Tutor. Okay. So that's all for functions. Let's move to the next topic now. So now we have seen functions, we have seen what is and how to create a function, how to call it. We have seen what is the argument, what is the parameter, and what is the value that is returned. Okay. And as we practice more and more, these things will come naturally to us. Now let's start with the next topic, that are loops and iterations. Okay, I think that's best. Yeah. So now let me keep the code on one side and let me do this on one side. Yes. Now let's start with loops and iterations. Okay. So when do you write a loop? When we have to do some repeated steps but with a different value. Right. It says loops or repeated steps have iteration variables that change each time through a loop. Often these iteration variables go through a sequence of numbers. Right? So it says, I will repeat this, loop should always have some iteration variables, means some variables whose value is changing every time the loop is executed, which governs how many times the loop is actually going to execute. And that will change each time through a loop. Okay. Now let's write this code. So here we are writing a while loop. So in while loop we usually don't pass we don't know how many times the loop is going to execute, means we don't pass any such variable. So what we are doing here is we are passing n is equal to 5. Okay. Then we are putting a condition in here over here, while n is greater than 0. Yes. Okay, so n is 5 and while n is greater than 0, print n, and now I am putting a condition over here which is changing the value of n. So now your iterand is changing here. So n will always change each time the while loop is executed. Okay, and then eventually print blast off and then print the final value of n. So now let's understand this. So it will store first n is equal to 5. Then while n is greater than 0, if this condition is true, it will print n. So it will print the value of 5. Then n will become 4. Okay. and then again we will go to the while statement, this time with an n value of 4. So 4 will be compared with 0. So this is still true, so I'll print 4 again. Then it becomes 3. Then 3 is compared to 0. Right? It will print 3 and then n becomes 2. Then again 2 is compared to 0. It prints 2 and then it becomes 1. Then 1 is compared to 0, it's still true, print 1 and then it becomes 0. Now when n it becomes 0, it's not greater than 0. So now it will come to the next step. And then print n. So now this can be very easily understood using this. Python tutor. Okay, let's see this. Okay. So as soon as I do this, the n becomes 5. Right. Now while n is greater than 0. So what is going to happen? Print 5 is printed. So here's a box which is going to print the output. Then n becomes 4. See this. Now the value of n is updated to 4 here. And now my cursor is again back to this point. Again I'm printing 4 over here, print 10. Now 4 is printed over here. Again it is n is 3 and I'm again back to the initial of the while loop. Then 3 is printed and then n becomes 2. Then again it's on print, 2 is printed, then again n becomes 1. Again the same thing, 1 is printed and becomes 0. Now it's not going to enter the while loop by now. It straight away comes to print blast off. So it's printed and then 0 is printed. So that's the output. Same thing if you see here, it will do directly. समझ में आ रहा है ये समीर?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So this using this Python tutor, it's very like you know how the code is actually gets executing, right? So it's easy for us to understand. Okay. Now answer this. How many times is this loop going to run? How many times is this loop going to get executed?
Infinite times, right? No.
Why infinite times?
Because every time n is equal to 5, that will be greater than 0, right?
Right. So there is we're not changing the value of n. So this condition is always true and so it will always keep on running it. So now let's try this on your Jupyter.
Himanshu?
Yes.
How did you when you use that when you use that markdown, how did you make it color, iteration in bold, type bold?
Okay. See, I just told you. Now you're writing a Python code here, right? Press escape.
Okay.
Now press M for markdown.
Yeah.
Now if you know how to write markdown in R, it's same thing. So one hash is a H1, a 2 hash is an H2, a 3 hash is an H3. Plus if you know HTML, you can write any HTML code here. All the formatting, CSS, everything can be done here. Okay. So if you want, you can just search for this Jupyter Notebook Markdown cheat sheet. Okay. So this, I think this better is leave it. There was a PDF also here, right? Yes, so this is again very good. So how to put headers, how to put emphasis, how to put less. See this. Headers are by hash. Okay. Now then if you want to put emphasis, you can do like this. You can put star also like this. So the format will be changed for these words. Or underscores will also do. If you want to make it bold, you can simply use 2 stars or 2 underscores.
Mhm.
If you want to strike through, so it's like tildes over here. So scratch this, it will show like this. Now if you want to show a list or something, right? So you can do that as well. So if you want to insert a link, if you want to insert an image, so many things can be done. Okay. So I just ping you this link, save this link. So this will work in R Markdown also, which can you can write on RStudio, and this will work with Python Markdown also, because Markdown is a separate thing. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Now if you see this, now that's a Python code. Now see this. Oh. See this, it will keep on printing again and again. So it will take a lot of memory. Okay. So whenever you do this, you have this button for CVS. So just interrupt the kernel. That's just what I wanted to show you. In such scenarios, if you are stuck up, you can simply run this. Okay. Now you want to remove this display. So there's no such technique for it, but there's a way around. So if you're in command prompt, just convert into M. So now it becomes a markdown, and then we convert into Python again. So it will show like an unexecuted cell.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to switch to Markdown and then come back to code.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. As soon as you convert to markdown, the output is gone, and convert back to code. So now it looks like this. Clear? So be careful while using while. You should make sure that there is a condition which is going to violate after some time. Otherwise, it will keep on running and running and running. Now, how about this? What is the output of this?
Uh, Dry off.
It is simply dry off, right? Means it is never going to enter this loop. So simply it will say print dry off, right? Very good. Now, if you want to intentionally break out of a loop, you can use the break statement. So it says the break statement ends the current loop and jumps to the statement immediately following the loop. So it is like a loop test that can happen anywhere in the body of the loop. So let's do this. Okay. It says while true. Now see, there's no condition. So it says while true. So this will always be get executed. So there's one more way of writing a while loop. When you don't have any numbers to pass or you don't have any criteria, just put while true. So to keep on executing and executing and all. I was on mute. Yeah. What is the outcome of this code? Let's write this. While true, okay, line is equal to input. And just I'm sending a prompt so it looks good. If line is equal to done, then after if you have to put a colon, then again indentation and then break. And then simply out of this if it is print the line. Print done. Now let's execute this. So it asks for an input, let's say hello. It will print hello and ask again for an input hi. So again it will print that. And it will keep on doing that again and again. Right? Unless until I pass a done. And as soon as I pass a done, the loop breaks and now I'm out of this while loop. So the next statement is print done. So it's printing done. Yes, Samir, Prabhakar, Akshay, Pranali done?
Yes, done.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So Himanshu,
Yes.
so basically that greater than sign in that input, I mean whatever you're asking the user to enter in it, that means I mean you simply have to put any word that greater than, I mean this input, that whatever that comes in after the input sign. What is that? I mean,
This you're talking about?
yeah.
No, I just marked a prompt so that you know that you have to put something. Otherwise क्या होता है कि खाली लिखा आता है. इसको हटा दो. It's of no use. You can do it like this also.
Okay.
Sorry, not like this. Just hold on.
Mhm.
I have to pass like this. Okay, so यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा, right? So you want to show something over there, like yes, you can, or simply ये क्या हो रहा है यार? अच्छा okay, I have to stop it first. I think this will also work. Yeah, this is also working. Just the function call, okay? But better would be enter something. ऐसे कर लो, तो वो लिखा आ जाएगा. So हमने वहाँ पे भी just put a prompt over there so that you understand that okay, you have to pass something.
Okay.
Right? Yes. There is no significance of this. Clear? Just pass done. I want to get out of this. Okay. So we have seen this break statement now. So it says, okay, so now if you see here, so it has breaked and came back to this print done, right? Okay, now see this. Then there's one more thing called continue. It says finishing an iteration with continue. the continue statement ends the current iteration and jumps to the top of the loop and starts the next iteration. So if you want to break in between, but rather than going out of the loop and to the next statement, we go to the starting of it. Okay. Now write this loop quickly. So copy paste the previous one and just do the some changes. So copy this. It says, so first input a line, then there is a if condition. If line 0, so we're not done this subsetting as of now. First, so we're just looking at the first character of my string. And it says if the line starts with an hash, okay, it says to continue. Okay. And there's one more condition, if line is equal to done. In that scenarios, I want to just break from the loop, and then I will print line over here, and then I will print done. Okay. Now what is going to be the output of this loop? Say for example I pass a hello. Now what will happen?
It will print hello.
It will?
Print hello.
Okay.
Display hello.
It will print line. Sorry, my mistake.
Line equals
Sorry, my mistake. Right. And it will again take you to the start. So now this is executed, and then again while loop is keep on executing. Now if I pass a hash and then I pass a hello, now what will happen?
it will continue without printing anything.
So what is the meaning of continue? It will ask for the
It will again check
ask for the
prompt.
input, right? So it will again ask for the input. So if I add anything with the hash, it will continue to go back and then again ask for the input, right? And now if I pass done, we are out of the loop. Okay, that's the use of this continue.
Himanshu, by line 0, that means you want to extract the first element of the
String, yes,
whatever
yes,
word.
yes. This we'll study later once we study list, but as of now, just understand that 0 means the first letter of the string. So I'm extracting the first alphabet and matching it with hash. If this condition is true, I will continue. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move ahead now. So this we already seen how continue works. Okay. So what are indefinite loops? So while loops comes under indefinite loops because they keep going until a logical condition becomes false. Okay, so now it says The loops we have seen so far are pretty easy to examine to see if they will terminate or if they will be infinite loops. Sometimes it is little harder to be sure that if a loop will terminate or not. Right? So for that we have definite loops where we iterate over a set of items. So we beforehand tell, okay, I want to execute the loop so many times, 5 or 10 and whatever, right? So what are definite loops now? So it says quite often we have a list of items of the lines in a file, effectively a finite set of things. Now we can write a loop to run the loop once for each of the items in the set using the Python for construct. So using a for we can read one line at a time from that file. Okay. Now these loops are called definite loops because they execute an exact number of times. And we say that definite loops iterate through the members of a set. What is the meaning of this? We will see. Okay. So now a simple definite loop. Let's quickly write this. So now you should write a heading on here. Right. Let's make H2 for loops. Okay. And then you can make one more heading which we call as definite loops. This should actually come up and this should come down. Okay. Now let's look at for I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this is actually a list which we have not studied so far, but we'll study later on. So for now, just you can call it a set of numbers, right? Which are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which we have written in a square bracket. Okay. Print I and then print blast off. Now what is the output here? So rather than running here, I'll quickly run in Python tutor so that you can also understand it very quickly. Okay. For I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's run it. So I is initialized as 5. Print I, 5 is printed. I am back to for loop. I is changed to 4 now. So I am iterating over this set of numbers. Then forward again. Then I am again here. Now it is 3. Then go back 2. Go back 1. That's it. Now nothing is left here. So it will simply go to print and then blast off. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then blast off. Simply we will get the same thing here also.
Also, I'm not able to execute the code.
What's the issue?
Whenever I press the run button, control enter, it automatically enter into new line.
Means you're pressing enter or control enter?
Control enter.
And you are in Python only, right? You're writing a Python code cell only. For this cell, this is code only, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting a number also here?
No, number I'm not. Star asterisk mark.
So asterisk means the kernel is still running, so you have to stop it first. So interrupt it and then execute. Once you interrupt it, the star will go
Yes.
and then run it.
Yes. I get
Got it? So star means the kernel is running at the backend and is doing something, but you don't know what is going on. So might be यहाँ पे आपने input लिया होगा पहले and still you didn't put anything. So it was in that mode only. So you want to interrupt it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, do this quickly.
Done, done.
Done? Okay.
Done.
So that's how you write a for loop. So for I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 print I. So the format is very good. I in this, so it will loop across these values. Okay. Good. Now rather than looping over a number, I can loop over a set of names also. Now let's execute this also quickly. So I'm declaring a list over here. Friends which has 3 possible values: Joseph, Glenn and Sally. Now for friend and friends, print Happy New Year friend and then print done. Right. So अब क्या होगा इसमें? It's a Happy New Year Joseph, Happy New Year Glenn, Happy New Year Sally. Done. Okay. Done. So you can loop over any of the either on the string or on the numbers as well. Now it says definite loops have explicit iteration variables. So here the iteration variable is I, which we didn't have in while loop. Right? That changes each time through a loop. These iteration variables move through the sequence or the set. So here we are moving through this sequence. So I is an iteration variable over here. Now looking at in. So it says the iteration variable iterates through a sequence or the ordered set. The block or body of the code is executed once for each value in the sequence. So this block will be executed for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. The iteration variable moves through all of the values in sequence. So after 5, 4 will come, then 3, then 2 and then 1. So this sequence will be followed. Okay. So this we've already seen how this code gets executed using Python tutor, right? So then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1 and then done. Okay. Now let's do some loop EDMs. Means there are certain set of loops that which is very common. So we'll do them as practice examples. It says even though these examples are simple, the pattern applies to all kind of loops. Okay. So making smart loops. It says the trick is knowing something about the whole loop when you're stuck writing code that only sees one entry at a time. Okay. But it means like while writing loops, you don't, I mean, we don't realize like how the data will come at each at a time and then how it should be executed. So it says the trick is knowing something about the whole loop when you are stuck writing code that only sees one entry at a time. So let's see why we are saying this statement. So it says set some variables to initial values. So for thing in data, look for something or do something to each entry separately, updating a variable. Okay, and then look at the variables. Let's take an example. Okay, now what is this code going to print? Quickly.
All the number in the list and up.
So we'll start with the before, then
After,
all the numbers, and then after, right?
yeah, before.
Okay, good. Now let's do this question. What is the largest number? So I have 3, 41, 12, 9, 24, 15. Okay, what is the largest number here? It's 74, right? Now I want you to write a code that outputs the maximum number using a for loop. Okay, and don't use max. Hint is you can start with the initial value largest so far, that is -1. Do this. Do this, I'll just be back in a moment. यस हुआ क्या ये?
Master, can we look do like this? I'm pinging you the code. Yeah,
Sorry, come again.
I'm pinging you the code.
Okay. Good, Pranali.
I just took the arbitrary value for the.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, all of you have done that. Prabhakar, is it allowing you to compare the first time value with a none? Let me just see
No,
that.
yes.
3 is greater than none. No, it won't allow you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so you need to have some value over there. So I will do this. Let's say I declare one variable largest so far. It's not a foolproof course, but code. But let's see. I define a largest so far as -1, right? For I in a list of 341, 12, 9, 74, and 15. Right? If I is greater than largest so far, then what will I do? I'll assign I to largest so far, right? And then eventually I will print largest so far, and I will get a 74. Now of course this is not a foolproof code, because if you have any value less than -1, it is going to give you a wrong value. So but the objective is to show you the structure of the code, that we have a loop, we initialize with certain value, and then we do some comparison, and then we finally get an output. Okay, now let's come back to the statement again. It says the trick is knowing something about the whole loop when you are stuck writing code that only sees only one entry at a time. So now if you look at this, I want to find the maximum value, and then, but the point is we are only putting one value at a time, so we have to hold that value somewhere. So for holding that, we have this if construct, right? So now this we have done. So this is how the code is get executed. So as soon as we pass 3, the largest so far becomes 3, then it becomes 41, then still 41, then still 41, then it becomes 74, and still 74. So the maximum value is 74. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's do counting in a loop. Now count this. So if I pass the same string again, that is this only, find the number of elements in this list using a for loop. Do this. Done. Very good, Pranali. Okay, yes. So this is again a standard way. We start with a count of 0. Okay. And then simply for I in this list, what we do is count is simply count plus 1,
+1.
right? And then I will return count. I think return will also work. Sorry. Count. Mm-hmm. While printing 12,
Or sim.
I think not execute this. Yes. See, the issue is the count value gets saved here. So you have to ideally I should put this in the same cell. No, it's not an issue.
Himanshu,
Yes.
we can also do by one more way now. We can save that list to some variable, and then we can use for I in range of length of that variable which contains that list.
We'll see the range function, then we'll do like that.
No, yesterday we did no range function.
No, okay, that was just in the code. We've not done it as of now. So yes,
Okay.
you are correct. You can do that.
Mhm.
Okay. There are various ways of doing it. See, if you're using
Yeah,
length, then why would we use a count first of all?
yeah, that's correct. But
Yes, you can do that definitely. Okay. The point is the main thing is this body count of count plus 1, right? Okay, one more quickly. Okay. Now output the sum of the 6 numbers quickly. Find the sum of these
so can
numbers using a for loop.
Himanshu, can we take a small break if you don't mind?
Okay, sure. Let's break for 10 minutes. We resume at 6:15 then. Okay.
Yeah.
15 minutes should be fine.
Sorry?
15 minutes should be fine.
15? 10 minutes, 6:15.
15 minutes break left.
15 है क्या? चलो ठीक है 6:20.
Himanshu? Himanshu?
Samir.
Himanshu?
Yes,
Hello?
yes.
Yeah, I was not for 10-15 minutes. So what happened?
I'm not getting you. Come again.
No, मैं 10-15 मिनट के लिए नहीं था तो I just asked you उससे पहले क्या हुआ है? Just before I think.
No, we're studying this for loop only.
Okay, no, my asking some of the assignments you gave, not something called count something you mentioned. No.
Yes, I was telling how to count using a for loop or to find the maximum value using a for loop.
Okay.
ये सब कर रहे थे. Yeah.
Okay.
है ना? If you want, you can just run this code.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll do other this count and this thing. What is it?
Count and अभी तो count और वो किया है. Count and find the maximum value. That's it.
Okay.
Counting and maximum value. Yes. So these two codes. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So 6:20, right?
लॉस हुआ था मेरे को कैसे बोल रहा है बहुत सही है अभी 55 से बोल रहा है तो साला क्या मेरे को क्यों बोल रहा है खेल ज्यादा है यार मतलब मैं हारा हूं भाई कि बाद में 10,000 सभी खेला हूं देख अगर मिला के करेंगे ना प्रॉफिट डबल होगा और कुछ मेरे से मत खेलो सही है समझा मेरे पास ढेर सारा आदमी मिला के खेलने वाला हम तो खेलना देखो तो बोल हमसे बहुत खेलेगा तो खेलने का बॉल सिखा रहा है बैंगलोर का सपोज अगर बैंगलोर ना अभी 4-5 गिर जाए रेट कम हो जाएगा कैसे रेट हो जाएगा 1700 का 10 1500 का 10 अभी जैसे जैसे बैंगलोर का और बढ़ते जाएगा रेट ऊपर ही रहेगा 6,000 बुक किया उसने वही रेट बाद में तुम कटिंग कर सकते हो तो बोलता कटिंग कर सकते हो कटिंग में क्या हुआ तुम तो लगा कि बैंगलोर ज्यादा मिले आपको तो बैंगलोर हैदराबाद पर चाहिए उस टाइम के लिए सर नहीं कर रहा है तुमने लगा दिया आसमान पर ठीक है रनिंग करो होता है जब सब तो स्टार्टिंग से मैच कॉपी किताब लेके नहीं मान लिया हम 10,000 रुपया लगाए कम तो लगाया मैच स्टार्ट में 5,000 लगा के बाकी 5,000 राजस्थान ठीक है स्टार्टिंग में तो सिंपल मैथमेटिक्स पहले समझा तो पहले बता दो पहले समझा यार जैसे देख यार सिंपल फंडा है 5,000 रुपया करोड़ में लगा है ठीक है तो ऐसे 5,000 नहीं मान लिया हम कुछ भी एक x y लगा है ठीक है तो मतलब करता हूं 200 रुपए तैयार रखना
भाई अभी पापा का भी कॉल आ जाएगा ना, तब भी ना जाओ।
Hello.
Hi.
Chalo, let's start. Okay, now we have to do for the sum. Okay. So write a loop that sum these numbers. Sorry. See, this is pretty straightforward, right? We start with a total of 0, then we run over the loop, and every time we run it, we keep on ending with the earlier total. So initially the total was 0. Now I will just show you this in that quickly in this Python tutor. So let's look at the values quickly. Sorry. Total is 0. I is 3, two variables declared. Total is equal to total plus I. Total becomes 3. Look at here. Right? Then I becomes 41. Total updates to 44. Then we're again back to the for loop. I becomes 12. Total becomes 56. And then I becomes 9. Total becomes 65. Right? So if you keep on doing this, you'll get the answer 154. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's do this yourself. Find the average of this number using the loops. Find the average of these 6 numbers very quickly. Here's Pranali done.
Yeah, sending you the code.
Okay. Okay. Akshay, I want you to count the numbers also, not just total it. Good.
Yeah, okay.
Pranali, do you think that is correct?
Answer is 25 something. Let me take
But your
again.
code is not correct. Average cannot be in the loop. But I think you'll still you'll get the correct answer. Because we'll take the last value of the sum and the last value of the count. So that's why you're lucky that you get the correct answer.
Correct.
Okay, one more same type of error. Akshay has also done the same error. Okay, let's see this. Yes.
मैंने सिर्फ लास्ट का काउंट पास किया है.
What is problem with this code? It's 25.66. And do we have average function this? Not average. Mean is there, right?
Correct, 25.6.
Mean is not there. Just my average. Okay. Yes, what is wrong with this code? In this code, though you're getting the correct answer ideally, this should not be a part of the loop. Because we can compute the average only once when the sum is the total and the count is also final 6. All the intermediate values will be anyways wrong. Okay. Clear? Good. So this is also done. Okay, now do this. Let's do one more construct. Now we want to use if also within a for. So quickly write a function that will return only those values which are more than 20. Print those values which are more than 20. Quickly for the same data set. Okay, this is straightforward. कर लो इसको जल्दी से.
Even so, I'm getting this error actually.
It says indentation error. So indent of the code is not correct.
But I have given indentation in for loop also and if condition there both.
Ping me the code, Samir.
Okay.
This print is not correct. You have written a print over here. Samir, look at this. आपने यहाँ लिखा है, which is wrong. It should be like this.
Yeah, in Python, this is you have to more practice, I think.
Right. But all the editors automatically do it for you. So if you are here and if you put an enter sign, it will take you there only.
Hmm.
The good part is
कभी
you
कभी
don't have to put
yeah.
any basic brackets and all, right? When to start, when to close. And the code automatically looks well and easy to read, right? So that's the benefit. Good. Okay, now let's do this. I want to search using a Boolean variable. Okay. Now the question is, sorry, what is this? Yes. Now I want you to check whether 3 is in your data or not. And if 3 is there, you have to print true. There's one way of doing it. What it says is we initialize found with the false, which actually is not required, but let's see this also. Okay. Let's do this. And that's okay. What is doing this? See this? So if there is 3, it will print true all the times. If 3 is there in this string. That's one way of doing it. Other is, yeah, you can simply put it over here. You'll get just one true. Okay. Now let's try this. Find out the smallest value. This was for the largest. I want you to. How would you make the change in this code to make it find the smallest value in the list? So out of this, I want you to find out the smallest value. Try this. Yes, Pranali, how to do that?
What sir? Actually,
स्मॉलेस्ट वैल्यू कैसे निकालोगे?
earlier one only.
कौन सा वाला?
एक मिनट, let me.
Okay, do
Oh,
that.
number present and number not present. Actually, I have done it completely. Let me think. I can एक बार check करने दीजिए.
Okay, okay, ठीक है.
ये पहले वाला भेजती हूँ सर, फिर आपको दूसरा भेजती हूँ.
ठीक है.
How we change this to make smaller.
Okay, good. Okay, Pranali, that's good. So you can use this also. ठीक है, मैं इसको वहाँ डाल देता हूँ. So the other way of doing it is you can take a user input also. Enter a number, let's say 3. Number not present, y. प्रणव, आपने इसको स्ट्रिंग क्यों पास किया?
स्ट्रिंग फिर मैंने सोचा कि उसका एक फ्लैग जैसा यूज करना है, तो ठीक है.
फ्लैग यूज करना है फिर तो जरूरत ही नहीं ना इसका, यहाँ इसकी कोई जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी फिर तो.
ठीक है. तो अगर उसको विदाउट स्ट्रिंग किया तो वो ले लेगा उसको वैल्यू में?
हाँ, उसको बूलियन ले लेगा ना. फाउंड विल बी अ बूलियन वेरिएबल.
ओके.
पर स्टिल इसमें गलत क्यों आ रहा है ये? इफ आई एम पासिंग 3. ओके, आपको इस पर
तो आ रहा था मेरे इसमें.
नहीं, आपको INT लगाना पड़ेगा इस पे.
हाँ, पर मेरे इसमें से दिखा रहा था.
एक सेकंड, आपने ये भी गलत किया ना. ये यहाँ पे होगा, एक सब चलेगा वो. ठीक है. ठीक है.
ये मेन वैल्यू का भी भेजा.
Okay. Okay, Prabhakar has sent the code. Prabhakar, let's check your code now. This Prabhakar's code says A is this. Okay, minimum is A of 0. Okay, fine. For number in A, if minimum is greater than number, if minimum is more than number, then minimum should be updated. Print minimum. I'm getting a 3 here. Okay, let me check that. Let's make it 2. Yes, that's good. Yes, how about others? Okay. So if you see this doesn't require any additional any other higher number or low number like we were doing earlier. So you can simply assign initialize minimum with any one of the values, and then you compare the other ones with this one.
That value.
Sorry.
With that value.
Yes. So this is also a better way of doing it. Okay. See this now. So now I believe it will run for any values. Sorry. It's more foolproof now. No, there's one more way of doing it, but I don't think that's required. Just see this. It says just create a variable smallest that is just empty variable none. Now it says if smallest is none, assign the smallest value to the assign the value to the smallest, the first value. So now smallest has become 3. Okay, that's the first part. Else if value is less than smallest, so that's not true in the case of 3, so it will go back again. It will take 41 now. So now 41, so smallest is not none, smallest is here. So I'll compare 41 with 3. That's not true. So I'm not going to update 41, it's still 3 only. Okay. Then again I will go to 12. So in this case it's not going to enter anytime and you'll get the output as 3. So now if you see here, I am not used equal to, here I've used is, which is equivalent to, you can say equal to, double equal to, sorry. Done? Okay. So now let's conclude this. So here we have seen for loops and while loops. We have seen the break and the continue. Right? And then we have seen very common patterns in loop, like calculating the sum, the count, the minimum, maximum, etc. Okay. Now let's do some good examples in this. Okay. So far we are just simply writing loops over the elements of certain list. But rather than that, we can also do it over the indices, means the index of the list. Okay. So it says, so now what is the range function first of all? Let's see what is range function, right? So range function gives you the range of a list. It says returns a virtual sequence of numbers from start to stop by step. So let's quickly do this now. Say for example, range of 5. So it will give you values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say to do this plus 2. No, it won't. Leave it.
Is it same as a sequence in R? Or?
Yes, it's sequence. Yes, it's like sequence only. Yes, yes. Okay. Now the benefit is like now I can iterate on the range. See this. Earlier I was doing for I in some list, right? For I in some list. So now I can do for I in range of 5. Print I. I will get this. Yeah, done. So that's the use of the range function. Let's do a few more examples. Okay. Now here you can use the step also. Or for example, now one thing you have to remember is the last value is not included. 2 to 5 will give you 2, 3, 4. So first value is included but the second value is not. And then 1 to 10 with a step of 2. So 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. Okay. So now what we can do is like I can write a loop again. So for example, my list was this earlier, right? Now what I want to do is like I want to not run the loop on the values of A but the indices of A. So what I can do is like for I in range of len of A. So len function is the length of A. And then I can simply print I'll get the count. So this is also very useful sometimes because sometimes we have the length of that vector and then we have to run the indices on the loop on the index, not on the values. So then this range and length, this construct is very handy. Clear? Okay, let's do some practice quickly. Do this now. It says write a function. There's written the number of occurrence of a character and an adjacent character. Just a second. Yes. So you have to find out how many adjacent repeats are there. Means here there are two C's, that's one occurrence. There are two F, that's second occurrence. There are three G's, that is third occurrence. So write a function that return, if you pass a string, it will count the occurrence of the two adjacent values being same. Okay. And now I want you to do this using this range function. Can you do this? Try this quickly. 5 minutes. यस प्रणाली, हुआ क्या ये? प्रणाली, प्रभाकर, समीर, थोड़ा जल्दी। हेलो समीर, हुआ ये? थोड़ा जल्दी प्लीज।
I'm getting index out of range error.
Okay, so make sure you're starting from 0. Means it will be
I
starting
have
from
done
0.
it. I have done it. Should I ping you my code?
Yeah, do that.
बताइए क्या error है?
Count is 0, string is this. Okay, for I in range of 0 to length of str, इतना लिखने की जरूरत नहीं प्रणाली, इससे काम हो जाएगा आपका बस।
वो नहीं हो रहा था इसलिए मैंने वो आगे बढ़ाया।
If str
इसमें
of,
भी मेरे को यही एरर है।
हाँ तो इसमें देखिए जो इसकी लेंथ क्या, लेट्स से 5 है इसकी लेंथ, राइट? तो आइए आपका 4
ये
तक चलेगा। यहाँ पे आपने कंटिन्यू की लिखा है एल्स में?
वो वो निकाल दीजिए, वो में से ट्रायल एरर। यही प्रिंट करा के भी देखा था।
स्ट्रिंग इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ रेंज, ओके। str0 को आप 1 से कंपेयर करोगे, राइट?
हाँ 0 1 से होगा, वैसे करते करते 10 तक आके वो 11 को नहीं कर पा रहा है।
सेकेंड, हाँ। अगर सपोज करो अपन एक छोटी स्ट्रिंग पास करते हैं, जैसे दिस, राइट? सो I will go up to range of 5, right? That is 0 1 2 3 4, है ना? अब प्रॉब्लम ये आएगी प्रणाली की, जब I4 होगा तो str 5 हो जाएगा, राइट?
5 हो जाएगा।
5 तो है ही नहीं उसमें।
वही, उससे आगे जाना ही नहीं चाहिए ना।
क्यों नहीं जाना चाहिए? ये कहाँ तक जाएगा बताइए आप? ये रेंज ऑफ 5 तक जाएगा, राइट? 0 1 2 3 4,
हाँ
मानते हो आप?
0 1 2 3 4।
तो जब ये I4 हो गया तो ये 5 होगा ही होगा ना। तो ऐसा मत करो, आप इसको यहाँ -1 कर दो। अब चेक कर लो, ठीक है? एक एक कोई और ट्राई कर लो। ठीक चल रहा है।
एक बार वो भी और एक बार भी या तो फिर इसके साथ हम एंड कंडीशन डालेंगे।
सॉरी,
पर ठीक है, ये भी बेस्ट है। नहीं, ओके फाइन।
ठीक है। सो वो लिस्ट पढ़ लेंगे तो ये वो थोड़ा ये और इजी हो जाएगा समझना आप लोगों के लिए। तो ये भी सिर्फ इफ का था, इसलिए थोड़ा दिक्कत आएगा आपको। यस प्रभाकर, समीर, डन।
Is the right code? Yes,
Samir has sent the code. Okay, so what Samir has done is this. Yeah, for I in range of len of s minus 1, ठीक है। हाँ सही है ये बाहर आना चाहिए बस। तो इसमें कौन कौन से 3 पेयर्स हैं बता सकते हो आप? This is the first pair, there's the second pair, and there's the third pair, right?
Yes.
हाँ गुड, सही है बिल्कुल ये। अक्षय, how about you?
Yeah, it's almost similar to this one, the previous one.
Okay. चलो एक और कर लेते हैं। चलो लीव इट बिलो इन लिस्ट, अभी छोड़ दो इसको, लिस्ट में देख लेंगे इसको। यस, ओके। नाउ लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक क्विकली। Okay, now let's start with strings. Just a second, let me verify that. Okay, good. So sorry, I'll just convert this into PDF only. Okay, let's finish this also today. Let's see strings now. So now what are strings? Now string is a sequence of characters, right? So now we have already seen string, so the basic we can see is quickly skip. So if I add two string, it means concatenation, right? It will concatenate the two strings, right? Now I cannot add a string with a number directly. If the string has numbers, first of all I have to convert into int, and then I can do that. So this we have done so many times, right? Now we also seen that if I read a string from an input function, it will always read a number or anything using an input function, it will always be taken as a string. So even if you're taking a number, it should be first converted to a number. So for example, if I entered 100, so apple is not now 100, but if I do apple minus 10, it will throw up a trace back. The reason is apple is a string. So first of all I have to convert into int, and then I can get the correct answer, right? Now let's start the interesting part. Now let's see how we can look inside the strings. Now let's say the string is banana. Okay. We can get any single character in a string using an index specified in square brackets. The index value must be an integer and starts at 0. An index value can also be an expression that is computed. Okay. So now as I've already told you, the index will always start from 0. Okay. So let's write this code quickly. So if let's say fruit is banana here, and if fruit of 1 will give me what? It will give me a. So the fruit here is banana. Okay. So fruit subsetted by 1 will give me a, right? Escape B. And then what else? Now I can pass the expression also here for subsetting. So for example, x is equal to 3, fruit of x minus 1. What is the outcome? Yes, quickly.
A.
Why?
N.
It is n, right? Why n? So x is 3, the fruit of 2. 2 is 0, 1, 2, that is n, this n. The third n, right? See this. Okay. Okay. You will get a Python error if you attempt to index beyond the end of the string. So be careful when constructing index values. This we have already seen in the case of Pranali's code. So now in case I write fruit of 6, I will get an traceback index error, right? String index out of range. Right. So remember this. Now strings also have length, so we can measure the length of any string using the len function. So now if you see here, I can simply use len of my fruit. It will give me a 6. Since I have 6 letters, it is giving you 6 starting from. So count will be like, so there is no point of indexing here, so it will be 6 only, right? Okay. So now len is used for the length, calculating the length. Now we can also use the indexes to loop. We can also loop through the strings. So for example, I can use using a while statement and an iteration variable and the length function. We can construct a loop to look at each of the letters in a string individually. Now let's write this code quickly. Fruit is equal to banana, index is equal to 0. Fruit is banana already declared. I'll just declare it again. Then index is 0. Then while index is less than length of fruit. While index is less than length of fruit, I want to print index and the letter. Print index. What is letter here? Okay, letter I have to create first. Letter is fruit of index. Okay, and then so now I can get the output as index as well as the letters also. Done. Sameer, Prabhakar, Akshay, Pranali. Okay.
Yeah.
So rather than doing all that stuff, you can simply use for letter in fruit print letter. You can get this banana like this. Okay. So now if you see here, you can index in the same way for, so either you're passing a list of numbers or you can pass a string also, and it will go through each and every character of that string, right? So this is something that you should know. Okay, now it says a definite loop using a for statement is much more elegant. The iteration variable is completely taken care by the for loop. So now writing a code like this and writing a while loop is equivalent, but it's not. It's very ugly. This is very clean, right? So of course a for loop is much more preferred. So here I don't have to worry about increasing the index and all. I can simply loop over the string and then print letter. So everything is taken care by for only. Okay. Now do this. This is a simple loop that loops through each letter in the string and counts the number of times the loop encounters the A character. Okay, count the number of A's in banana using a for loop. Quickly. Count the number of A's in banana. Count the number of in backtick banana. So that's the benefit of a Jupyter notebook. You can write like this also. And if you want, I think you can make it hash. Then hash, if you do, then the bold will not work. A 2 hash will do, or a 3 hash. You know it's better. Okay. For letter in fruit, okay, let's make count is equal to 0. If letter is equal to A, count is equal to count plus 1. Print count. Okay. So you can simply write a if construct and then compare with A. Clear, Prabhakar, Pranali, Akshay?
Yeah, Himanshu.
Okay. This we've already seen so many times. Let's see few more string operations, okay? Now we can also slice the strings. Okay, now this is new thing. So now we want to extract a part of, so right now I'm just extracting a single character. Now I want to extract a substring out of a string. This we call it slicing. Okay. Now it says we can also look at any continuous section of a string using a colon operator. So now the string is Monty Python. So Monty Python used to be circus, from which the Python name has came for this programming language. So now if this is a string, these are my indexes. So space is also is counted, right? Now S is Monty Python. Now print S0:4. Now what will this do? So it says second number is the one beyond the end of the slice, means up to but not including. So it will give you 0, 1, 2, 3. Means 0, 1, 2, 3. That is Mont. Now look at print S6, 7. So it will only give you the sixth one. That is P. S6 to 20 will start from 6 and it will stop automatically up to 11. It won't throw an error here. Okay, do this quickly. So this slicing also it's very handy, so you should all know this very well. Monty Python. Okay. Print S0:4. It'll give you Mont. Print S6:. only give you a P. Print S6:20 will give you a Python.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, will you please repeat? Actually, I lost my connection.
Which
After
part?
that count of
Okay.
after counting A in banana.
Sure. Pranal, we have started with slicing the strings.
Okay.
Means if you want to extract some substring out of a string.
Hmm.
So what we do is like we whichever element we want, we subset, we write a square bracket, and then we pass the range. Means so 0:4. So the last number is never included. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
So you'll get MONT as the
So
outcome.
then from 6 to 7, it would be only 6.
Exactly. That's why you're getting only
Can you
P.
hear me?
C.
And 6 to 20 will be up to the end, but without an error. It won't give you an indexing error.
And it's like in other programming language like C or all that, C, CS, CPT, string is always ended with /0. So here, how we can check the end of string?
Means I didn't get you. End of string means, if, for example, you're passing a space at the end, like this.
Aha. Like suppose, let's say in CPP, suppose let's say I want to read the string character by character. So I
Right.
always write I write always a condition for end condition as if that is equals to /0. So because /0 is automatically added in terms of string, which denotes that string is ended.
No,
So
that's
if you
not the
want to
case
check
here.
here in this case,
No, not sure about that because I've never not done worked on C++. But here it will,
okay.
yeah. So I'm not sure about that. So you have to check that.
So end of string something should be there. If it says that now it's end of string.
So you're talking about a file or a line like that or what?
Not file
So वो तो
exactly.
backslash, you're talking about backslash and क्या?
Go to /n. No, it's for new line.
Right. So you're talking about end of string, not end of line, right?
Let's say suppose
Mm-hmm.
I'm having hello, my name is Pranali.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now I want to count how many words are there in this full string.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So I'll count the blank spaces between the words.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So as soon as I get a blank space, that means there is a space between, so the word is over, and now the next word has been started.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Are you getting? So how we can achieve this here in Python?
Okay, you want to count the words in a string, right? Okay, so अब ये कह रहा है कि you'll count the number of spaces and then simply add a 1.
One of the logic, because generally when we work along with string in CPP or other languages, they are normally comparing it end of string with /0.
Okay, so no, /0 is not there. I'm not sure about slash. Okay, just a second.
कुछ तो होगा ना सर जो डिनोट करता है एंड ऑफ 0, क्योंकि जब आपने 6 to 20 किया तो 6 to 20 पे आपके पास अभी whatever is the last index, let's say it might be 15. तो 15 के बाद 20 तक 5 जो स्पेसेस आपने दिए एरे के मतलब सब सेटिंग के लिए वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है. It should show some garbage value ऐसे मतलब आ जाता है जनरली दूसरी लैंग्वेजेस में.
Okay, so यहाँ पे it doesn't show up anything like that. But जैसे आपने बोला कि if you want to count the words here, how will you do that?
Space.
So okay, so you want to see how the space is written in Python, right?
Space नहीं, end of string.
End of string.
Space where that is with the quotes only, क्योंकि वो हमको पहले वाले में दिखा था. एग्जांपल किया हमने यार, we have done one example ना सर, उसमें हमको
एक
blank
सेकंड,
quotes रिटर्न हुए थे.
मैं एक सेकंड देख लेता हूँ एंड ऑफ स्ट्रिंग, मुझे आइडिया नहीं है इसका. नहीं, मुझे उसका वो देखना पड़ेगा. जब आप किसमें सी प्लस प्लस की बात कर रही हो आप?
हाँ, सी में बोलो, सीपीपी में बोलो, आई थिंक इन जावा में भी है. आंसर में ये देखिए यहाँ पे थर्ड, वाई स्ट्रिंग इन सीपीपी यूजुअली टर्मिनेटेड विद स्लैश जीरो.
Okay. People usually use this
तो इसमें
after
देखिए
creating a
आप
new character array like this. String s is just a string char array, new character this plus one. Why should we use slash here? C string is not usually the best idea in C++ code. नहीं प्रणाली, इसमें तो ये बोल रहा है कि इज नॉट ए गुड सी. रीड दिस, द टाइटल ऑफ योर क्वेश्चन
वो
रेफरेंस.
सी स्ट्रिंग बोल रहे हैं.
हाँ,
नहीं वो
slash
सी
zero
स्ट्रिंग बोल रहे हैं.
slash zero acts as a string terminator in C. It is known as a null
Yeah.
character or null, right? It signals code that processes
हाँ.
string. Standard libraries, but also your
Yes.
own code, where the end of a string is. A good example is strlen, which returns the length of a string.
Exactly.
When you
तो
declare
ये जब
constant
जैसे अभी
string.
strlen is the inbuilt function, बराबर सर.
हाँ
Now
हाँ
suppose let's say I don't want to use inbuilt function. I want to calculate the length of string by using for loop. Then
right.
at that time I directly compare it with slash zero. Until unless I then get slash zero, I count my length, plus one, plus one, plus one. As soon as I get slash zero, I come out of a loop and says that the length of the string is this much.
नहीं but okay, but I think
If you are-
इसमें you don't require a slash zero. See, we did a counting here also, right? In banana or anywhere, like in any code we did the counting, right? So okay, so you want to say जब भी खत्म हो आपको slash zero देना पड़ता है. Is it mandatory in C++?
Yeah, वो अपने आप देता है सर, हम नहीं देते. Automatically, when I entering string, C compiler automatically assigns slash zero, says that it is for end of string. इसलिए generally when we are making use of memory allocation operators, no, if we have to allocate plus one size, string size plus one for slash zero.
नहीं तो प्रणाली इसमें ऐसे पाइथन में ऐसे क्या
automatically-
प्रॉब्लम आएगी इसमें, अगर वैसे मतलब पाइथन में ऐसा मतलब मतलब व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ दैट? आई एम आस्किंग दैट. सिर्फ
रिक्वायरमेंट में सभी कैसे चेक करेंगे कि एंड ऑफ स्ट्रिंग हो गया?
मींस एंड ऑफ स्ट्रिंग हो गया मींस?
जैसे आपने अभी यहाँ पे लिया
हाँ.
प्रिंट 6 to 20,
हाँ हाँ
प्रिंट s of 6 to 20,
राइट.
fine. So it will start with 6 and 6 to 7 8 11 पे वो खत्म हो गया. But
राइट.
my last index is 20. तो अब जो बची हुई 9 स्पेसेस है उधर क्या?
अच्छा ओके, गॉट इट. तो मींस याद अगर स्पेस है कि नहीं है, स्पेस होगा तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, राइट? लेट मी ट्राई दैट. आई गॉट योर पॉइंट. मींस यू आर सेइंग देखिए
हाँ.
ऐसी स्ट्रिंग होती तो क्या करते आप, है ना? ये कहना चाह रही हो
हाँ,
ना?
ऐसी स्ट्रिंग होती या हाँ.
मींस व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस
हाँ.
बिटवीन दिस, राइट?
तो जनरली क्या होता है सर?
हाँ सही बोल रहे. इसमें कुछ
Generally
इसमें कुछ
ये-
हाँ
Generally it gives garbage values.
राइट. तो यहाँ पे तो नहीं पता चल पा रहा है. Okay, let me check that. I'm not sure about that in Python. We never encountered this. हाँ प्रणल, let me check that. Idea नहीं है मुझे इसका. Let me check that.
Okay.
Okay. हम्म, एक लास्ट ट्राई कर देता हूँ. There's something different. No, I have to check that बनानी देख के बताता हूँ मैं एक बार आपको. ऐसे इसलिए तो कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है इसमें. ठीक है.
हाँ. अभी एक काम कीजिए सर. अभी आपने जो वो सेंटेंस लिखा है ना,
हाँ हाँ.
दैट पाइथन वाले. हाँ,
मॉन्टी
वो
पाइथन राइट.
पाइथन के इसमें स्पेस दे दीजिए थोड़े से.
हम्म. Like this
हाँ,
right.
यहाँ पे स्पेस दे दीजिए थोड़े. हाँ, और नीचे अभी 11 से खत्म हो रहा था ना एन, तो 12 से लेके 20 तक जाइए.
हम्म. ब्लैंक प्रिंट कर रहा है.
लाइन प्लीट किया. हाँ,
मीन्स वैसे दिखा रहा है आपको वो.
तो ये यहाँ पर हमने स्पेस दिया है इसलिए आई थिंक.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली.
ठीक है, देखने के बाद.
नहीं बट अगर इसको, हाँ अगर इसमें स्पेस नहीं पास करता तो तब भी ऐसे ही आता. आपका बात ठीक है. अगर ऐसे ही में करता है इसको तब भी ऐसे ही दिखाएगा वो राइट. सो यू नाउ यू डोंट नो कि वेदर देयर इज स्पेस की एंड से. आपकी बात सही है कि वो स्ट्रिंग खत्म हुई कि नहीं हुई है. हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट.
स्पेस है या नहीं है.
हाँ राइट. उसको मैं आइडेंटिफाई
क्योंकि
नहीं कर पा रहा.
जनरली ये यूज कहाँ होगा, जब हम यूआई बनाएंगे एक बाद और जैसा मैंने कहा कि यूजर नेम नो पासवर्ड दो.
हाँ हाँ.
ठीक है, जहाँ हम ट्रिम यूज करते देखिए, तो हमको ट्रिम करना पड़ता है क्योंकि अदरवाइज अगर स्पेसेस दिए तो फिर वो मैच नहीं करता.
राइट. ओके गॉट इट.
तो यहाँ पे फिर वो कैसे कर पाएंगे.
हम्म. ठीक है मैं देख
बाद
के
में
बता रहा हूँ
देखते हैं.
इसका क्या है इसका राइट. ओके. So this we have done. Now you can pass it like this also. If you pass it colon 2, so it will go up to 0 and 1. So last value of course will not be included. And 8 colon means everything after 8. And of course this 8 will be included. जैसे वही जैसे पहले कर रहे थे same thing is now also. So this 2 colon. So everything out of, so 0 और 1 चले गए आपके, M और O चले गए, बाकी सब आ गया. ठीक है. 8 colon will give you THON. क्यों THON? 8 is THON. Right. और सिंपली इफ यू वांट टू सी colon 8 क्या आएगा, मॉन्टी पूरा जाएगा 0 1 2 3 4 स्पेस आ जाएगा एंड देन आई थिंक PY आएगा. हाँ PY आएगा राइट. मॉन्टी पाई.
Himanshu.
Yes.
And simply if we put colon, then it will return the whole string.
Yeah.
Okay. Himanshu, we can also, I mean, index. I mean, we can also slice the string by passing index in the backward direction, like -1, -2.
Exactly. We see that. Just hold on. So -1 is actually the last letter.
Mhm.
Okay. प्रणाली एक तरीके से तो आप you can check the end of the string by indexing it by -1. एक सेकंड उसको अपन देखेंगे आगे जाके क्या है इसमें. Yes, we'll see that operator also. अब ये निपटा लेते हैं फटाफट. Okay. Now we know how to concurrent the string, right? A plus will do.
Yeah, end of the string I think so -1 only.
Right. प्रणाली वैसे कर सकती हो आप चाहो तो.
-1.
एक ऑप्शन ये है जैसे आपने ये स्पेस पास किया ना. अब इफ यू यूज -1 तो अब आपको n नहीं आएगा, आपको स्पेस. सॉरी इसका एग्जीक्यूट करना है मेरे को. नाउ आई विल गेट अ स्पेस. Okay. But if it was this, then you तो हो जाएगा आपका n. तो आई थिंक जब वहां से इसमें उल्टा इंडेक्सिंग भी होता है -1 से. Yeah, so it's the indexing is like this. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 and so on. So if there's two-way indexing, then I think your purpose can be served like this also, right?
We can find end of the string by using -1.
-1 से last character दे रहा है.
Right.
Himanshu,
Yes.
ऐसा नहीं है, वो -1 पे लास्ट कैरेक्टर इसलिए दे रहा है कि इंडेक्सिंग हमारा 1 से ज्यादा है ना सर, 0 से चल रहा है ना.
नहीं, उसका -1 हमेशा लास्ट कैरेक्टर ही देगा आपको. उसकी
अरे,
नेगेटिव
end of
इंडेक्सिंग
string.
भी होती है. जैसे आपको ओ लाना है तो ओ इज -2. ये देखिए. लेट मी शो यू द जस्ट अ सेकंड. आपको ये दिखा देता हूँ. ये देख लो ऐसे होता है ये. लर्न टू प्रोग्राम. सो दिस इज लाइक दिस एंड दिस स्टार्ट फ्रॉम -1.
तो end of string -1 से पता चल जाएगा end of the string.
मतलब इसके अलावा कोई फंक्शनलिटी आई एम नॉट श्योर कि सब पूरी होगी कि नहीं होगी इससे. बट आई थिंक -1 शुड वर्क. ओके, अभी करेंगे पर इसको खत्म करते हैं जल्दी से. Yes, so now the string concatenation we already seen. Plus means concatenation. Now if I want a space, I can pass a blank in between. So A में hello है, hello then space and then there will be printed. So usually the default concatenation will be without any space. So if I concatenate hello and there won't be any space. See this, like this. Okay, but if I do like this, A plus blank plus there, then I can get hello there. This is pretty trivial. Okay, now you can use in as a logical operand on the string as well. So I want to check whether n is there or not in fruit. So you can simply use n in fruit. So this is very common. Do this. Yes. So I have my fruit as banana, right? So I want to search whether n is there or not. N not like this. N in fruit. Return a true. N in fruit, it will return a false. Of course, it is case sensitive. Right. Now you can no, it's not like you have to just use a single character. You can use a substring also. And if the substring matches as it is, I mean it should be adjacent in the string also. So NaN is there also. NaN here. Right. So it will return a true. Okay.
1 minute, sir. I'm having a doubt.
बोलो.
Move to backslash. Picture is like this.
एक सेकेंड. बोलो.
Sir, here you have sent NaN, no? So that it is in quote. So it will check for the substring.
Yes.
है ना?
हाँ.
तो आपने क्या कहा? NaN for not a number या कैसा?
नहीं सबस्ट्रिंग है ना, सबस्ट्रिंग ही है. ये NaN यहाँ पे है ना.
Okay. हाँ.
है ना,
So
तो
actually I thought NaN is not a number.
नहीं. तो वो अगर देखो, अगर तुम आप कोट्स में डालोगे तो एनीवेज इट विल बी टेकन एज ए स्ट्रिंग ओनली. आप कुछ भी डालोगे कोट में तो
हाँ, स्ट्रिंग एग्जैक्टली
है ना. ठीक है. Okay, so if you want to search, you can use a BAN also. So BAN also will give you a true, right? Okay. Now you can do string comparison also. That will give you true only. It's actually not very useful, but still see this. If word is equal to banana, print all 8 bananas. So if the word is exactly banana, it will print this statement. Now what is the meaning of word is less than banana? Okay. So it will start with matching the first alphabet of both the strings. एक एग्जांपल करके देख लेते हैं. Apple is, sorry, not like this. Apple is less than banana. It will return a true because it will compare the first A with this B. But if I do like this, then it will give a false. हाँ जी.
वो लेटर कंपेयर कर रहा है या लेंथ कंपेयर कर रहा है सर?
लेटर कंपेयर करता है.
So केस सेंसिटिव सर होता है सर.
हाँ, बेसिकली इनके इंडेक्सिंग इनके इंडेक्स के हिसाब से करता है.
So फर्स्ट लेटर ही कंपेयर करेगा सर वो सर.
अगर फर्स्ट सेम है तो सेकंड करेगा. See this. Now it will be again a false क्योंकि यहाँ P है. अब यहाँ Q कर दूंगा तो ये ट्रू हो जाएगा. अगर ये P कर दूंगा तो फिर वो थर्ड करेगा.
Here also it considers lowercase and uppercase, right?
Yes, same thing is. So is less than A.
What would be then? इसका यूज क्या रहेगा सर?
नहीं, इसका स्ट्रिंग कंपैरिजन का ऐसे इतना यूज नहीं रहता, इसलिए मैं पहले बोला आपको. मैं it's just I'm telling you that you can do comparison of string also. Exact equal तो काम आ सकता है.
हाँ, एटलीस्ट लेंथ में होता तो
लेंथ करना
इक्वल टू आ जाएगा, बट
ग्रेटर इक्वल टू इतना नहीं आता है.
हाँ वो
आपको लेंथ कंपेयर करना तो लेंथ ऐसे कर लोगे वैलियन से.
ये तो भी एटलीस्ट कहीं यूजफुल है ना कि
हाँ, राइट.
अगर दो स्ट्रिंग तो बिना कर उनकी लेंथ इक्वल है तो फिर आगे चेक करने में मतलब है.
Right, this you can use. बट एज सच स्ट्रिंग कंपैरिजन का अल्फाबेट टू अल्फाबेट इतना फायदा नहीं होता है. Okay. Now Python has a number of string functions which are all in the string library, which we'll see. These functions are already built into every string. We invoke them by appending the function to the string variable. These functions do not modify the original string. Instead, they return a new string that has been altered. Now see this. This is very interesting stuff. Greet is equal to hello Bob. Right. Now greet dot and press a tab. It will show you all the functions that you can apply on any string. Let's say count. It's error. At least one. नहीं छोड़ दो इसको अभी. लोअर केस दिख रहा है क्या इसमें? Lower. It will convert it into a lower case. Or if you want greet dot upper. Greet dot count, I think G. Now what is this used for? Returns the number of non-overlapping occurrences of substring, sub, and string. Optional arguments start and end are interpreted as in slice notation. S-R-E-E.
I'm not getting the list of all those.
Even me too.
Hello?
बोलिए.
Sir, I'm not getting the list
आपने
of
greet को एक string declare किया?
हाँ.
इसको execute किया?
Yes.
Then greet dot लगाया, फिर tab दबाइए.
Tab क्या?
हाँ.
नहीं.
थोड़ा सा वेट कर लो, आ जाएगा.
No.
आप लोकल सिस्टम पे नहीं कर रहे हैं, इस पे एज्यूर पे ही कर रही हो ना?
हाँ.
नहीं आना चाहिए हो तो देखो. How about others?
When
Sorry?
I press dot and then press tab, MRO लिखा हुआ आ जाता है.
MRO.
Even I'm also not.
Hold on. Greet आपने string declare कर दिया right पहले?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, ऐसा तो नहीं होना. And now you press tab, you're getting this. You're not getting this. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
This is very very strange. आप greet को उसी सेल में लिख रहे हो, अगला सेल में लिख रहे हो?
दूसरे से लिखा.
फिर तो आना चाहिए. एक सेकेंड. एक बार प्रणा जैसे ट्राई करना str डॉट लिख के.
नहीं आता.
शिफ्ट टैब देना पड़ेगा इसके लिए.
हाँ जी.
उसके लिए ग्रिड जो भी फंक्शन यूज करें उसके लिए शिफ्ट टैब देना पड़ेगा ना. ग्रिड डॉट शिफ्ट.
नहीं शिफ्ट टैब नहीं, शिफ्ट टैब. नो शिफ्ट, जस्ट अ टैब.
आगे
HTML के साथ आ गया.
आप लोग क्या कर रहे थे?
तो डॉट के बाद टैब दबाने पर आ गया सर.
हाँ तो पहले क्या कर रहे थे? मैं भी बोला था मैं तो.
हाँ सर.
Even I am not getting after pressing
Still?
tab.
It's only tab, no shift, just a tab.
Yes, yes. Getting.
Getting it now?
Yes.
Sir, it is giving me with string but not with grid.
Ideally, it will should give you for any object of class str, and greet is str here, right? Any object of type greet will be. See, this type of greet is. Sorry, not this.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, do that. आप क्यों कोड पिंग करो ना अपना.
Himanshu?
Yes.
So basically, we can invoke any method on Python object, right?
Yes. Any method which is applicable for that class.
Okay, so it might happen that the same method can't be invoked on list, but it can be
Exactly.
invoked on some other
Exactly.
object.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For, say for example, I mean, can you show one again? And one more thing, Himanshu.
Yes. Go ahead.
Like the backward, the backward indexing starts from -1 to whatever the number of length is. That okay?
Yeah. Just.
So
Yes.
So if I want to use, say for example, in that Monty Python, and let's suppose that there is no space between Monty and Python, and I try to slice the Python, I slice the index string by using -3 is colon -7. So basically, what value of index will it exclude? I mean,
It should take values from -7 to -3.
okay, so it will go it will go from left to right only, not right to left.
Yes. No. It won't go.
So every time it will go from left to right only.
Right. Means if I'm
So
getting it right, you're telling me that if I use, you're telling
-3
that.
colon -7.
हाँ तो अपने आप उसको स्टार्ट स्टॉप को एडजस्ट कर देता है.
So basically
मेरा तो कुछ भी नहीं आ
-3
रहा.
colon
ऐसे क्यों? आपने ऐसे किया कि ऐसे आएगा ये? It is like this. This will work.
Himanshu, stop sharing the.
Okay, just hold on. I'll just look. We'll do this minus thing. Just hold on. प्रणाली अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करो ना फटाफट.
Sir, now it's coming. Actually, yesterday we have created one function named grid, and then I check the type of grid that it gives me function. So
अच्छा
I
अच्छा.
change the name of the string as greeting, और फिर उसके string करके वो आ जाता है.
Okay.
That's why I not share this thing.
Yes. Prabhakar, just hold on for the negative
Might be
thing.
Samir is also facing the same.
Sorry, come again.
Samir is also facing the same thing, I think so.
अच्छा अच्छा. He is also doing the same
Let
mistake.
him try
Okay.
with it.
Now I
Okay.
got it. It's working now. It's working.
Okay. Okay. Good. So now all these functions are applicable on any of the string. So if you don't understand, just put it over there, and then you can put out this, and then you can look at Shift tab and look at the help. Okay, that's L strip. It will remove the leading white space. Similarly, we have R strip also that will remove the white space at the end. Okay, so all these functions you can work with. Yes, now. So there are so many functions. Okay, now there's one more thing, function called dir. Okay, what it gives you is like it will tells you all the methods applicable for that class. So dir for str or dir for greet. See, we don't usually use this. We start from these ones. So we have zfill, upper, translate, title, swap case, strip starts with split line, split, and all that stuff. And you can
So
use
basically
it.
these are
Yes.
so basically these are the methods that we can invoke on
Any
string,
string.
on any
Yes.
string.
Right.
So we can simply check what kind of method we can invoke on that particular object.
Right. Just by putting a dot and a tab.
Okay. Or simply by using direct dir function.
dir also, right? So you can put dir on that
So
variable
help,
name also.
okay. Also help me with that minus colon.
Just hold on for 5 minutes, please. Okay, I'll do that. Yes. So now, where is that gone link? Sorry. Yes. So you can use this link also. There's the official Python documentation. It will for the help of all those values, right? Oh, where's that string on? Search from here. There's a function. Yes. String method. See this 5.6.1. I'll just ping you this link. So this you can use for the help. I think we have this in here also. ये आपको यहाँ help में भी मिल जाएगा. If you go to help now, there's a link for notebook help, markdown help, then Python reference, IPython reference, NumPy, SciPy, all these are here also. This you won't
Master,
find.
ये Python.
हाँ जी.
ये Python reference, IPython reference ये तो इस ड्रॉप डाउन ऑप्शन में नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ पर.
आप Azure पे यूज कर रहे हो, लोकल पे यूज कर रहे हो?
Azure पे यूज कर रहा हूँ मैं.
नहीं, Azure में तो आएगा.
मैं आपको स्क्रीनशॉट भी दे सकता हूँ मतलब.
Sorry.
NB extensions, ये NB extensions के बाद डायरेक्टली अबाउट आ रहा है.
NB extension के बाद डायरेक्टली अबाउट आ रहा है. ये सब नहीं आ रहा.
ये सब नहीं आ रहा कुछ.
ऐसा कैसे?
It's coming. It's coming. मेरे में आ रहा है सब कुछ.
Azure में तो आने चाहिए, लोकल में नहीं आता, मैं मान सकता हूँ, बट Azure में तो आता ही सबका. आपका क्या नहीं आ रहा? And you are using 3.6 only, right? तो क्या फर्क हो सकता है? बाकी डेटा ये सब आ रहा है आपको? डेटा अपलोड डाउनलोड?
हाँ वो सब आ रहा है, वो सब कंप्लीट है. कर्नल भी ठीक है, सेल भी ठीक.
ये तो ये भी आना चाहिए आपका हेल्प में. देखना पड़ेगा इसका क्यों नहीं हो रहा. नॉट श्योर. अच्छा, क्या आपने गो अहेड.
dir ग्रीट किया तो कुछ भी नहीं रहता है.
कैसे? आपका ग्रीट स्ट्रिंग है ना? देखो अब आएगा.
Yeah, getting it.
Okay.
We'll stop here, क्या?
Sorry? No, just hold on. Now you can use a find function to search for a part of a string or a character. So for example here we have greet dot find and then h. Sorry, it's not a Python. Now it's Python. Yeah, it will return the position of that. Okay, right. So for example HEL. So it will pass the index of the first one. Here will give you 1. Okay, greet dot find will do. Then you have, please mute, who is this? Okay. Now we've already seen lower and upper, right? Greet dot upper will convert everything into upper, lower will convert everything into lower. This is again very useful. Then you can use the replace function also. It's like a search and replace operation in a word processor. जैसे word में हम करते हैं ना search and replace. So for example, hello Bob, I'm creating a new string greet dot replace Bob with Jane. So now we'll get print hello Jane. Okay, so greet is not getting edited. You're creating a copy of greet which is now in NSTR. Try this quickly. Hello Jane, right? Now it actually replaced all the occurrence of that. Say for example, I do fruit dot replace, okay, B with not B, A with B, B. So it will be B and B and B, right? But if I pass a 1, it will only replace the first occurrence, starting from the left, of course. Done. Okay, we'll continue from here next time. Some part of string is left, which are some good questions. We'll do it next time. And indexing आपको अगर प्रभाकर अभी देखना है तो मैं आपको नहीं इसमें नहीं है.
Okay, also, I'm dropping now. Just send the documents and videos.
It will take some time. मेल कर सकता हूँ मैं भी आपको, बट Moodle एंड ऑल पे थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा जाने में.
Yeah, mail कर दीजिए.
Just a second. Okay, I'm pinging you to 21 documents straight away. Okay, ping your email address quickly. Samir Panda I have, Pranali I don't have, Prabhakar चेक कर लेना, ठीक है ना ये?
हाँ सही है.
Akshay I have. Okay, I'm just left with Jitendra and Pranali. Pranali आपका email address पिंग करो ना एक बार. नहीं आ रहा. Okay, done.
Thank you.
ठीक है, we'll finish strings next time, and then we'll continue with other data types as well, dictionary, files, etc. Okay,
Thank you.
I'll try to send you the videos by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
I have done this statement.
Sorry.
एक बार ये चेक करेंगे क्या? I am sending you the code. मिला?
Yes.
नहीं रुको.
आपने ऐसा -1 मिला मेरे को बस.
नहीं हाँ वही गलत है. एक मिनट पूरा नहीं आया वो. हाँ जी. इसमें ऐसा क्या है? स्लाइस 0 से n किया ना मैंने. अब s of -1 करके देखेंगे.
तो आई आ रहा है.
नहीं आई नहीं आ रहा.
0 आ रहा है.
वो /x00 ऐसा देता है.
एक सेकंड में देख लेता हूँ.
हिमांशु हम लॉग ऑफ कर सकते हैं क्या?
हाँ कर लो.
ओके थैंक यू बाय.
थैंक यू. या सब ये क्या दे रहा
यही
है?
आप p का -1 करेंगे ना तो एक्सक्लेमेटरी दे देता है.
अच्छा
एक सेल में करके देखिए.
अगर आप सिर्फ ये स्लैश करोगी तो स्लैश करोगे एरर देता है. UL while end of line while scanning string literal. हाँ कुछ तो होगा इसमें. 0 करोगे तो x00 दे रहा है. राइट. अब स्पेस दे देगा. क्या चक्कर है ये? नहीं प्रणाली इसका आईडी नहीं बिल्कुल मेरे को देखना पड़ेगा इसमें है ना कैसे ले रहा है वो. राइट. क्यों ये सब इट्स लाइक हाँ इट्स मोर लाइक ये सब डेवलपर्स का काम रहता है ना. मतलब एज अ डेटा साइंटिस्ट सब चीजें जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है आपको ज्यादा. ठीक है. नहीं मैं देखूंगा मिलता है तो मैं आपको बताऊंगा करके. ठीक है
देख लेना. हाँ बता दीजिएगा.
चलेगा. ओके थैंक यू.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.